Welcome back, Cobra fans. I'm Major LaRue, and I'm here with, and we are so excited to bring you this week's Cobra Sports Network weekly update. Cross country has been having an exciting weekend so far, and nothing has shifted away from that this past weekend.
Abigail Phillips was the girls' SPNI top performer of the week. She stepped up this week, filling a massive spot on the girls' varsity team, placing 27th to contribute to the varsity girls' third-place finish at the Calhoun meet.
Yeah, she's been having a really good year on the JV level. She's been getting those top place finishes almost consistently every week, and coming up having to fill that spot, she did an outstanding job, and Coach Elkins has a lot of praise for her. Not only that, Isaiah Reyes was the boy SPNI top performer of the week. He also placed 27th to contribute to the boys' fourth-place finish at the Calhoun meet, so cross-country ran very well.
Cross-country ran at Magnolia Beach last week. The JV girls placed 5th as a team, with Kylie Pollock placing 9th, Ureta Zertucci placing 13th, and Lexi Martin placing 27th. The JV boys placed 6th, with Nico Espina placing 17th, Camden Taylor placing 15th, and Braden Warren placing 25th.
Yeah, the varsity girls placed third as a team, with Kate Simons placing 10th with a time of 14 minutes and 52 seconds. Elise Bullock was right behind her, placing 13th, and Carly Burrow was close behind at 22nd place. As a team, varsity boys got fourth place, with Tanner Whites placing 15th with a time of 18 minutes and 5 seconds, Tucker Carl placing 18th, and Christopher Gonzalez placing 19th. So it seemed like everyone was pretty compact together, pretty tight.
Yeah, it sounded like a good showing from the Cobras and at Magnolia Beach last weekend. But volleyball is also having a magnificent season so far, and their 2 games this past week are proof of the hard work and dedication these girls have put into their craft this year.
Yeah, so let's get started with that.
Yes, this week's SPNI construction top performer is junior opposite number 14, Kaylee Haunch. The reason she was chosen this week is because she stepped up when her teammates were struggling to score. And just this week, she had 17 kills on 39 attempts to hit. She also had 7 digs and 2 blocks to finish off the week.
Yeah, volleyball had 2 games this past weekend, with Rice on Tuesday, and they play Yoakum on Friday. JV won versus Rice 2-0 and beat Yoakum 2-1. JVA also beat Rice 2-0 and as well beat Yoakum 2-1. Varsity beats Rice 3-0 and beat Yoakum 3-1.
Moving on to football, Coach Nairn said that they had 3 really good practices where we tried to get and remain healthy, but improve in a few key areas, namely blocking and tackling. He thinks they accomplished all of our goals last week, and he's looking forward to taking on Tidehaven Tigers in the Snak Pit this week.
We have recapped the Cobra Athletics programs from last week. Now let's get into what's going on this week.
Yeah, cross country has no meet this weekend, but they do have the district meet on Monday in Yoakum. I know it's highly anticipated, and they're looking forward to seeing their success.
Yeah, Tuesday, Cobra Volleyball plays Hallettsville at home. We'll have more on that next week. We also play Tidehaven at Friday on home.
The freshmen play East Bernard at home on Thursday, and the JV team plays in Tidehaven on Thursday. But the varsity football team does take on Tidehaven this week at home for their district opener. We're looking to see a good win from the Cobra football team.
Yeah, now that we're caught up with all of that, let's get on to the interviews.
Welcome back, Cobra fans. I'm joined here with our quarterbacks coach, Coach Carney. Thank you for taking the time to come talk to me today a little bit about what's going on in the football program right now.
Yes, sir.
First off, can you walk us through a typical practice and what you're doing with your players on a day-to-day basis?
In a typical practice, you start with some kind of warm-up. Normally, we start with some kind of short throwing routine. Call it, either settle and news, where kids work on working grass, sitting down, catching a ball, or pad and go, where we're working on certain routes. Then we'll push into some sort of a inside run where we work on nothing but the run plays that are in between the tackles. And then a pass under pressure scenario where we go through our pass plays with different types of pressures and blitzes coming to work on picking up. And then usually end it in a team scenario where you just go through a barrage of different plays.
Branching off of that, what are some common mistakes you see the offensive players make, and what steps y'all take to correct them?
Well, from a quarterback standpoint, a lot of times the kids will rush throws, not get their feet right, and if you don't have a good base, your ball's not going to go in the correct direction. Or making bad reads, trying to pick out a receiver and throw to a receiver based on who he wants to throw to, versus watching a read. And in the simplest form, it's an A/B combination. If your read does one thing, then you do the other. And sometimes they fail to watch their read.
I see. Being the quarterback's coach, what's some advice you give a young kid that's aspiring to be like someone like Nick Kuchler or Ashton Garza, who wants to be a successful quarterback in our program? What's something you'd tell them and the steps they could take to become a person like them?
Well, always practice throwing the ball. Start with your technique from throwing the ball early on. Make sure that you warm up before you throw. You don't want to cause an injury because you don't warm up. And then really probably the most important thing that people don't think about is the footwork in the quarterback. I think you have to really work on your footwork and making sure mechanics are correct. And if you do that, then I think that that'll develop you better than just people think that quarterback is just throwing the ball, and really a lot of it is your footwork.
Can you, I like to ask all the coaches that come in and talk to me, can you talk about the importance of this district opener and how much it means to the team as a whole?
Well, right now we're 0-4, and we played two really good games in the beginning of the year, and came up short, but played hard. And I feel like we kind of lost our mojo the past two games here, and had been playing typical industrial Cobra football where we're playing hard. So I think we have to get our mojo back and play hard and get a win underneath our belt. And as for district, the first four games don't matter. This is the one that counts. So I think this will be a huge win for us and get mojo back on our side.
I agree with you there. Well, one more question before I let you go. What's some advice you are telling your players to help them stay motivated through games and practice? They're facing adversity day in and day out. What's something you're giving to them that's helping them stay with it?
Well, that's a pretty tough question. Practice is always tough to get through. It's always hard to get kids to practice at a game speed or game level, and we just try to encourage them to pick it up. Let's go. We have to have a game speed or a game tempo, because everything's based off of timing. And if you practice half speed, then in the game, it's you can't simulate it, and it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. As far as in a game goes, we always say that it's not over till the final whistle. The final bell. So you get, no matter if you're up by 100 or you're down by 100, we try to keep that same intensity all the way through the game. I guess that's basically it.
Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me on the show and answering some questions that I'm sure everyone would be excited to hear about. We really appreciate you. Now it's time for our weekly Cobra Sports Network Snak Pit games.
Welcome back, Cobra Sports fans. I'm here joined with Miss Coach Carney today. She is our assistant volleyball coach. So how do you handle and motivate players who are struggling?
I think personally, as my personal coaching strategy is to encourage and motivate, especially at the JVB level. That is something that we sometimes struggle with, is lack of confidence. And so trying to motivate and encourage them tends to help them be more successful.
What do you think is the most important quality for a successful volleyball player?
The most important quality for a successful volleyball player is them maintaining positivity. Starting with the skills needed, that's definitely a foundation, but if they're able to maintain positivity, they will have a more successful outcome.
What are the key skills you focus on during practice?
Every day during practice, we focus on the fundamentals. That's how we start practice. We work on serve-receive progression. We work on serving progression. We work through a lot of defense, and those are skills that we focus on through all grade levels.
What is your strategy for developing younger or less experienced players, especially since you coach the JVB?
with my team, especially with any incoming freshmen, it's helping them to maintain their positivity, which I've already touched on. But if they are able to maintain that positivity, it's going to help them whenever they're on the court working together as a team, maintaining that team chemistry.
Okay, last question before we let you go. What are some common mistakes you see players make, and how do you correct them in practice or in games?
One of the biggest mistakes that we've been making lately is our lack of team chemistry, because we're focusing on what we did wrong versus letting that mistake go and then continue on with the next play. And so just trying to stay positive and encouraging each other, trying to focus on the team versus focusing on the individual.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come out and talk to us today. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back just in a second to interview Mr. Coach Carney.
Welcome back, Cobras. I'm Mackenzie Sharp, and this week's Snak Pit game is blind drawing. So I have Shelby Fletcher with me, Levi Finley, Zachary Villarreal, and Logan Thomas. So there's 2 teams on this game, 2 people on each team. A piece of paper is taped on the second person's back. The first member is given a picture to draw. The first member will draw that picture on the piece of paper taped to their team member's back. The team member then has to draw the picture on the board. Whoever is closest to the drawing wins. Make sure y'all write hard on the piece of paper. Okay, first round, go.
Slow down. I don't know what the second line was.
Five, four, three, two, one. I can't feel anything. This paper's thick.
Okay, back away so you can see your drawings.
Hold the paper up to the board. That was terrible, Logan.
That was
What is that?
I tried to adjust to what he was doing.
Okay, I'm pretty sure cross country won that round. So next round, go. Levi, push harder.
Oh, no way. You're going to rip the paper.
I can't feel anything. Just
I'm ripping the paper. It's not going to work. I already put a dot on his shirt. That's going to go through.
Just do it without the lid, or with the lid.
It seems like cross country's having some technical difficulties. They may not win this round.
I feel something. You should have drew the circle.
No.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back away. Put the drawing.
Oh my God, the drawing up next to it. Hey, put the drawing up next to it.
We didn't get.
I was almost there.
Oh, I'm gonna give this one to football just to make it football just because it's ball. So.
Yeah.
I started ripping the paper because Shelby couldn't feel it.
I turned the
Okay, we're tied right now. This is the game point. So round 3, go.
You have to draw it bigger. Oh, Lord.
Okay, you got the circle.
Hold on. Do it again.
Do it again.
Oh, what?
And 5,
Put the paper up.
Put the paper up next to it.
Football won.
Big circle. Oh.
Great job, football.
That is all we have for this week's edition of the Cobra Sports Network Weekly Update on the best network anywhere.
Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week. As always, it's a great day to be a Cobra.